Once you feel like you've got the sequence of techniques down and your foot patterns, and you got the imbusen down, there are a few different levels we need to discuss to make you go from beginner to advanced with Naihanchi Shodan. So it's one thing to learn the kata. We need to be practicing it over and over. You will need to learn it for your black belt test, but we need to get it down because everything you learn here will help you learn to add power, protect yourself out there, especially once we go through the bunkai. Now, Naihanchi Shodan means in close fighting or fighting against the castle wall. So there's a reason why that we use the Masubadachi stance. And the reason for that is so I can easily use my hips. It allows me to move quickly. That's the advantage of a narrow stance. But the biggest secret, you've seen a little bit of it in Yoshikai Karate when we go in for our elbow strike here. At the highest level, you need to be able to move your feet and your hips at the same time and then snap it back. And so when you're going for that first strike, you're coming across and striking here, my foot actually should go out slightly. And then when I go into the elbow, I'm now bringing that foot back in. The reason why, I'm striking my opponent here and I'm grabbing that head and I need help pulling them into the elbow. So I need to be able to engage my hip and bring myself back to center line. So the number one thing I need to see is hips, hips, hips. I need to see your belt moving throughout all these techniques. The next level to work on are your eyes. So again, it's called in close fighting or against a castle wall. So notice we're not going backwards and we're not going forwards. We're meeting all of our opponents where they are, and there's a lot of different directions that we're taking. So our eyes need to be always moving. I need to see that eye snap to the right, engage the opponents here. I need to see that eye snap to the left, engage the opponents here. I need to see the eyes snapping forward here. Another level to work on with Naihanchi Shodan is going to be your head level. Especially becomes important when we're bringing our foot into our leg to keep it from being swept and landing back into our stance. We need to be able to keep our head at the same level. So when I'm here and I'm preparing to strike, notice my head didn't move. So I don't need to come here and straighten my leg and drop down. It needs to be here, nice and short. So if you need help working on that, you can simply work on each side. So be here, land, land. And then once you feel like you have that down, practice adding your hips into it. So those are just a few things for you to work on. And again, this kata needs to be practiced all the time. Not only because you're going to be doing it for your black belt test, but again, because it's foundational. This is the first kata that everyone's taught and sometimes works on for years. Students will work on just this one kata, and there's a reason for that. The hip engagement, the in-close fighting, the grappling found in the bunkai, it's all extremely important. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in your test.